Okay, we're going to weave the square. I'm using some hand spun, it's wool and mohair mix. It's a worsted weight size. We start by, this is the 3.5-inch teeny weaver, by the way. We start with a slip knot on diagonal corners. And I'm going to try not to get in my own way here, as you can see. Whoops. Put this over the black nails on diagonal corners. Then we weave. Bring the yarn up past the white nail to the left of the corner and around the top right nail to the left, and we weave over under. Pull the yarn through to the white nail on the right side, down the white nail on the right at the bottom. Then around the black nail that's next, same on the top, and once again it's over under. Get your yarn, pull it through. We're weaving a loop through. Onto the next nail, pull the yarn down. I'm getting tangled in the camera here. Down to the black nail on the right, then back up. Just repeat this sequence until you run out of nails. To the white, down to the white, back up past the black to the next black. Over under. Clear the shed if you need to with this mohair. It's just a little bit, but it sticks. Okay, and you repeat this, as I said, until you run out of nails. When you pull your yarn through, there's going to be a bow. You don't want to pull your yarn tight. If you pull it tight, you're stretching your yarn and you're going to make a lot of draw up in your final square, so it will be smaller than you probably had planned. So you take your packing fork. If you don't have a packing fork, you can use your hook, your finger, your dinner fork, whatever. Push the yarn straight. You want it to go straight across. You don't want it bowed either way. But you leave the bow in when you're weaving so that you have an extra link so it doesn't pull up tight. Okay. Continue on. Follow the nail pattern. It's black, and then you start on the white. Black, 4 blacks. And your next round will start on the next color, which is white, since we only have 2 here. If your loom came with a shorter hook, and these small ones usually do, you don't have to weave the full width across. You can start in the center. Just make sure that where you went over, you're going under this time. Weave halfway and weave the other half. This might look a little open now, but once you take it off, it's a draw up, and you fold it a little bit, it will fill in nicely. Some yarns have more elasticity than others. You can use knitting yarns on these looms, of course, and they tend to be more elastic, which means they'll fill in more. This mohair is a little less elastic. You can use finer yarns. We'll get into that later. You don't want to use a yarn that's so heavy that when you get to the center you can't get your hook through. That's too big. Okay. There are other, you can do twills, you can do other fancy stitches. This is just a plain weave on this one. Now, for the last row, you measure your yarn across, leave a little extra, and cut. Now you're going to weave this one all the way through. So I pull that first one through by itself because it's easier to do. And then just weave the tail across. This takes a few minutes to weave one of these squares, and keep your scrap yarn basket by your chair with a loom. You can weave a square in no time. Have a basket full before long for your project. Okay, they don't have to be all exactly even because when you rub they're going to relax into place. I lift it off with the hook, with the packing fork, but you can use hook or fingers. And just take it off the rest of the way. Maul it around some. Lay it out, rub it. Here's your square. The ends is a matter of choice, what you do with the ends. You can leave it and sew it into the seam. You can weave it back through, or you can twine it back through. Either way, that's going to show some. You can work a Russian join by sewing it back in itself. That hides it some. You can leave a long tail and use that to sew your blocks together. Now just try it and see what you like. And there's your square.